Hello everybody and welcome to chapter 9 of the book of Bereishit, Perek Tes, as we continue to travel through Tanach. Chapter 9 has 29 verses and it's found in the Koren Saks Chumash on page 56 and 57. In this chapter we will talk about life after the flood. Hashem blesses Noach and his sons to be fruitful and multiply, to have dominion over all living creatures, and even to be able to eat animals. Hashem makes it clear it's forbidden to shed the blood of man, for man is created in God's image, and Hashem establishes a covenant with Noach that he will never destroy the world again through a flood, and sets the rainbow as the symbol of this covenant. We'll read about Noach planting a vineyard, and during a drunken slumber, he gets violated by his son Ham in some way, who is subsequently cursed. Shem and Yafet, who preserved their father's dignity, are blessed. Finally, we will read about the death of Noach at the age of 950. So with that introduction in mind, let's turn first of all to chapter 9, verse 1. Vayvarech Elohim es Noach ve'es banav. Hashem blessed Noach and his sons, Vayomer lahem, and he said to them, Peru uravu, umilu es haaretz. Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Not the first time that we've seen the commandment of Peru uravu, and this is the commandment for them to propagate and populate the world once again after the flood. Continuing with verse 2, Umora achem v'chitechem yihiyeh al kol chayas haaretz. The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, v'al kol of hashamayim, and upon every bird of the heavens, b'chol asher tirmos ha'adamah, in everything that moves on earth, uv'chol degei hayam, and in all the fish of the sea, into your hand they are given. Verse 3, Kol remes asher hu chai lachem yihiyeh la'achla. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Ke yerek esev nasati lachem es kol. I allow them all to you like green plants. Now, if you were paying attention at the very, very beginning of the book of Bereishit, you will have noticed that mankind was only allowed to eat plant life. And now, post-flood, Hashem gives mankind the dominion over the animal kingdom and now allows them to be able to eat meat. Verse 4, Ach basar benafsho damo lo sochelu. But flesh with its lifeblood still in it, you may not eat. So we may not eat things that are still alive. Verse 5, Va'ach es dimechem lenafsho seichem edrosh. And for your own lifeblood, I will demand account. Miyad kol chaya edrashenu. I will demand it from every wild beast. Umiyad ha'adam, miyad ish achiv edrosh. For human life, I will demand account. Es nefesh ha'adam, of every man towards his fellow man. Verse 6, Shofech dam ha'adam, ba'adam damo yishafech. One who sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. Ki b'tsem Elohim asa es ha'adam. For in Hashem's image man was made. Verse 7, Va'atem peru uravu. As for you, be fruitful and multiply. Shitzu va'aretz uravuva. Teem on the earth and multiply on it. Verse 8, Vayomer Elohim el Noach ve'el banav ito lemor. Then Hashem said to Noach and to his sons with him, saying, Va'ani hineni mekim es brisi itachem. I am about to establish my commandment with you, ves zarachem acharechem, and your descendants after you. Ves kol nefesh achaya asher itachem, and with every living creature that is with you. Ba'of, the birds, ba'behema, the animals, v'chol chayas ha'aretz itachem, and all the wild beasts of the earth that are with you, mikol yotze hateva, everything that came out of the ark, l'chol chayas ha'aretz, to every living creature on earth. Verse 11, V'hakimosi esprisi itachem, I will establish my covenant with you. V'lo yikares kol basar od mimei hamabul, that never again may all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. V'lo yihiyeh od mabul l'shaches haaretz, and never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. Verse 12, Vayomer Elohim, and Hashem said, Zos os habris asher ani nosein beini uvenechem. This is the sign of the covenant that I am making between me and you, uvein kol nefesh chaya asher itachem, and every living creature with you, ledoros olam, for all generations to come. Verse 13, Es kashti nosati be'anan. I have set my rainbow in the cloud. V'haisa la'os bris beini uvein haaretz. And it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Verse 14, V'haya ba'anani anan al haaretz. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth, the nir'asa hakeshes be'anan, and the rainbow appears in the clouds, v'zacharti es brisi asher beini uveneichem. I will remember my covenant that binds me and you, uvein kol nefesh chaya b'chol basar, and every living creature of all flesh. V'lo yihye od hamayim lemabul l'shaches kol basar, so that never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Verse 16, V'haisa hakeshes be'anan, the rainbow will be there in the cloud, uri isidha, and I will see it, lizkor bris olam, remembering the eternal covenant, bein Elohim uvein kol nefesh chaya, between Hashem and every living creature, b'chol basar asher al haaretz, all flesh upon the earth. Verse 17, Vayomer Elohim el Noach, and Hashem said to Noach, Zos osabris asher hakimosi, this is the sign of the covenant that I have established, beini uvein kol basar asher al haaretz, between me and all flesh that is on earth. Verse 18, Vahiyu v'nei Noach hayotzim min hateva, Noach's sons who came out from the ark, Shem v'Cham v'Yafes, were Shem and Cham and Yefes. The Cham hu avi Canaan, and Cham was the father of Canaan. And one of the reasons why the Torah points out here that Cham was the father of Canaan is because Canaan was integral to the violation of Noach that we are now going to read about. Verse 19, Shlosha eile b'nei Noach. These three were Noach's sons. Umei eila nafsa chol haaretz. And from them all of the world will branch out. All future generations descend from these three sons. Vayachal Noach isha adama vayita keren. Noach began to be a man of the land, and he planted a vineyard. Vayesht min hayayin vayishkar. He drank some of the wine and became drunk. Vayiskal besoch ahalo. And he uncovered himself within his tent. Verse 22. Vayar Cham avi Canaan, and Cham, the father of Canaan, saw es ervas aviv, his father's nakedness. Vayaged lishnei echav bachutz, and he told his two brothers outside. Verse 23. Vayikach Shem vayefes es hasimla. Shem and Yefes took a cloak. Vayasimu al shechem shnehem, and put it over their shoulders. Vayelechu achoranis, and they walked in backwards. Vayichasu es ervas avihem, and they covered their father's nakedness. Ufnehem achoranis, their faces were turned away. Ve'ervas avihem lo ra'u, so as not to see their father's nakedness. There are so many things to point out in this verse. I'll try and mention a couple of them. First of all, we're going to see that Cham and his descendants will be punished, and this is because he clearly did not take the same care to not see his father's nakedness, whereas Shem and Yefes were far more respectful. But we're also going to see that Shem becomes the ancestor that leads to the birth of the Jewish people. Shem clearly gets the more superior blessing. And our rabbis point out that at the beginning of our verse that we just read, Vayikach Shem Vayefes, the word to take, Vayikach, is phrased in the singular, and yet Shem and Yefes are doing this together. And our rabbis point out that Shem was the one who took the cloak, and he was the one most concerned and most sensitive to his father's disgrace, and Yefes was the one who came along afterwards. So even though they both came and did this dignifying act of covering up their father's disgrace, nevertheless, Shem is the one who takes the priority in the blessing. Yefes comes in next with his blessing, and finally Cham takes the brunt of the punishment. Verse 24, Vayiket Noach mi'eno. Noach woke from his wine. Vayeda es asher asa lo b'no hakatan, and realized what his youngest son had done to him. And the sources point out here that it's possible that he was violated by his son. It's possible that he was castrated by his son. But even if not on a superficial level, Cham was not sensitive to his father's honor. Verse 25, Vayomer, Noach said, Arur Canaan, Cursed be Canaan. And the inference from here is that Canaan is most responsible for the incident. Eved avadim yihiyeh le'echav. Verse 26, Vayomer, and Noach said, Baruch Adonai Elohei Shem, blessed is Hashem, the God of Shem, Vihi Canaan Eved Lamo, and let Canaan be a slave to him, to them, to their descendants. Verse 27, Yaft Elohim liyefes, may Hashem enlarge Yefes, v'yishkon ba'aholei Shem, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem. Vihi Canaan Eved Lamo, and let Canaan be a slave to them. Verse 28, Vaychi Noach achar hamabul, after the Mabul, Noach lived shlosh meos shana v'chamishim shana, for another 350 years. And finally, verse 29, Vayihi kol yemei Noach, the whole lifespan of Noach, all the days that he lived for, tisha meos shana v'chamishim shana vayamos. Noach lived for a total of 950 years, and he died. And that's all for chapter 9. In chapter 10, we will primarily read about the 70 nations that descend from Noach and from those three sons, Shem, Ham, and Yafet, and they will become the ancestors for every nation across the world. So I look forward to learning chapter 10 with you, but in the meantime, have a wonderful and meaningful day.